So Derek Chisora may get a title shot, and this creates an interesting discussion. So here is my perspective, and we will be exploring 7 ideas. Idea number 1, Chisora lost to Wilder, but now he's chasing champion Gassiev's belt. How can a loss transform into a title shot? How does losing move you up? Think of this, Chisora is a name, and Chisora has a reputation. Chisora is big in the heavyweight context. He's big, particularly in the British heavyweight context. I remember the first Tyson Fury fight. That was a great fight. I remember the Carlos Takam fight. That was a great finish. I remember the Joe Joyce fight. And of course, we all remember the Usyk fight. The point is that Chisora has a long resume. He's an exciting fighter, and he's very marketable. So the second idea is the system is the opponent. This isn't about Chisora's chin. It's about rankings where name value beats recent results. Is this the fighter's fault, or is it the governing bodies? Clearly, this is not Chisora's fault. It's not Chisora's fault that he may get a title shot. He is a player in the game. He doesn't make rules to the game. In one sense, he is a product of the game. And let's not forget that there's benefit for Gassiev because Gassiev can leverage Derek Chisora's name. Now, the third idea is legacy versus merit. Chisora earned goodwill over a warrior's career, but goodwill surely isn't ranking criterion. Where's the line between honoring a fighter and gaming the system? I think it's important to recognize that Chisora deserves a lot of respect. But you can deserve respect, but not necessarily achieve a title shot. Chisora has done a lot for boxing. In particular, he's done a lot for British heavyweight boxing. He has been a warrior. But whether he objectively deserves a title shot is different. The context here is that he does not deserve a mandatory title shot because he's coming off a loss. However, if it was a voluntary defense, then the context becomes different. And then the fourth idea is that Gassiev is the tell, not a random target, a specific champion Chisora team sees as the most winnable belt. This may be the most winnable fight, but it's still a serious challenge. Gassiev looked amazing against Pulev. That short left hook was sensational. And Gassiev is a former cruiserweight champion and now a heavyweight champion. So the credibility is high. He lost to Usyk, but everyone loses to Usyk. So that's not a red flag. However, he lost to Otto Wallin, and that is a red flag. I had looked at the highlights of that fight, and it looked to me that Gassiev was on the front foot, but Otto Wallin simply outboxed him from that awkward southpaw position. So Derek Chisora can take confidence from the Wallin fight, and he may take confidence that this might stylistically be the best fight for him to win. But this is definitely not an easy fight because Gassiev, he has credibility. He's a former cruiserweight champion, and he's the current heavyweight champion. And if you're going to take the belt off him, you're going to have to dominate it. He's not going to give it to you. You're going to have to take it. And the idea 5 is the promoter's hand. Follow the money. Think of this. Derek is the name. In this context, Gassiev, Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora is the name. He sells tickets and he draws attention. He has the resume. The promoters or the promoter understands the marketability of Derek. Promoters understand marketing. Gassiev's team understands that fighting and beating Derek Chisora will give him exposure that he needs. And that exposure will be in Britain, and that exposure will be global. If Gassiev can have a viral win against Derek Chisora, this can be leveraged to an even bigger opportunity. So bigger paydays, bigger cultural impact. And then the 6th idea is the Stillman. Boxing was never a pure meritocracy, and entertainment is currency. Let's break that down. The meritocracy, the best fight the best, and entertainment is the real currency. So in a sense, Chisora, as we've established, he is the name, he is the marketing machine, but he's entertaining, he's a warrior, he comes to fight. And like we've stated, this is not an easy fight. It's not an easy fight for Gassiev either, even though it's the bigger name. Chisora is a brutal fighter. He is a durable fighter. And he has a wealth of experience and a wealth of durability. And it's funny because even though this fight doesn't represent a meritocracy, if you look at Derek Chisora's career is a reflection of fighting the best out there. And it's important to realize that Derek, he has a definite boxing identity. He's a warrior. He comes to win. And when he's prepared, he's dangerous. And he seems to have a good relationship with his team. So on one hand, we say that boxing is not a pure meritocracy, and this fight doesn't represent that meritocracy. On one hand, we understand that entertainment is a currency, and that's what Chisora is bringing. But make no mistake, Chisora brings a serious challenge if he is prepared. And then the final idea is the forecast. Does the Gassiev fight happen? And what does a Chisora win do to that belt's credibility? As we've established, Gassiev has credibility as a boxer, high credibility. He has the credentials, he has the resume, he has a very strong boxing CV. But there's questions with regards to fighting Chisora. Does he have the power to get Chisora's respect? The Pulev fight, if you watch the Pulev fight, the answer to that would be yes. But if you watch the Otto Wallin fight, the answer to that may be no. So there's an ambiguity towards that. Can Chisora deal with Gassiev's work rate? Can Gassiev deal with Chisora's power? This fight represents a lot of different variables. And even though the fight may not represent a meritocracy, it has the potential of being a very entertaining fight. So this is my final statement. Think of this. Boxing has always been balanced merit with marketability, but the tension feels impossible to ignore when those two paths collide. Derek Chisora has earned enormous respect throughout the years of taking the toughest fights, yet respect and title opportunities are not automatically the same thing. If this fight happens, it won't just tell us whether Chisora can beat Gassiev, it will reveal what modern boxing values most: recent achievement, lasting reputation, or the business of selling championship fights. So that's the end of the video. Now I'm trying to build a digital boxing community, and that means I'm interested in your thoughts, I'm interested in your perspectives, and I'm interested in your observations. Now, if you want to support the channel, press like, hype, and subscribe. And if you want to watch more content like this, then simply click here or click here. As always, thanks for your time. It is much appreciated.